potholes around some of the roads around my way are crazy. Other roads looking absolutely wonderful. But potholes, apparently, according to the AA, have caused 500,000 breakdowns already this year in just the first 9 months.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to say that I have to deal with worse potholes than you because we live out in the countryside. We're not deemed a priority in any way, stretch or form, and country lanes are just left to degrade badly. But having said that, everybody has a pothole that they can talk about. They know exactly where it is.
They've named
that they bring
gifts to.
They've put ducks in it,
have
flowers
anniversaries
in it.
for.
Absolutely, and no one seems to fix it. Or somebody does come along, an extensive set of roadworks later, fill the pothole. 4 months go by, it's back again.
Yeah, what a surprise. Well, yeah, I think we all know where we are on that. Well, let's talk about this to Pothole Campaigner Mark Morrell. Mr. Pothole is how he's known to the rest of us in the nation. Good morning to you, Mark.
Good morning, Julia.
Thanks for joining us. It is extraordinary. Almost 500,000 pothole-related breakdowns attended by the AA in just the first half of the year. Basically, our roads are crumbling. It is getting worse. There are more potholes. They are bigger. They are deeper. They are causing more problems. They're costing a fortune for motorists, a fortune for our insurers, and a fortune to local councils and therefore taxpayers. Whatever happens, someone ends up paying, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. And it's not only motorists. It's reported that one cyclist a week is killed or seriously injured as a result of potholes, and over 70 motorcyclists are killed or seriously injured as a result of badly maintained roads.
Yeah, I mean, it is extraordinary, isn't it, that it's got so bad. I can remember talking about this, years ago on air and writing about this political journalist. It was an issue many years ago, and that was when the issue was far less of a problem. Why has it got so bad?
It's decades of underinvestment, and it's been cuts that have been made to highways funds, to obviously councils are under pressure for social care and other costs.
Yeah.
Little money coming from central government. Central government pulling over £50 billion taxation from road users, various sorts of tax. Yet they only provide £1.2 billion to local authorities for their road network.
Right.
But reality, it's costing the UK economy over £14 billion a year through badly maintained roads. My argument is repairing potholes is a waste of money. You need to resurface your roads.
Yeah. If
you had an annual resurfacing programme like other countries, Japan, for example, £3 billion a year, every year, index link going up. You can halve that in 10 years. So economically, there's an argument to say invest in our roads. The money doesn't go away. Also, someone sent me a picture this morning of a council I'm not going to name that are flagshipping pothole repairs, and it's being done in the rain, so the holes are wet. They're putting the tack coat in when it's wet. They haven't swept out all the loose material. They've laid in hot materials, and they've compacted it with some equipment that you use on footpaths and driveways, not for a carriage. And we wonder what will fail.
And that's the thing, they do a cheap repair. We all know this. If you're a homeowner, whenever you think, just do a quick repair, wait until it gets worse. It costs more, and it's a bigger deal to actually deal with. But this is the thing. The thing I find strange is I completely understand why local councils haven't prioritised this, because they've got so many pressing issues in terms of social care, and they have seen their funding down, I think, by 60% over the last 10, 15 years. I mean, they have massive pressures. But I don't understand why councils can still spend money on a load of road humps that a lot of even residents in the streets often don't want, or on, painting zebra crossings in rainbow colours, and a load of complete nonsense stuff that they do spend money on, but they say they haven't got the money for potholes, because we know that this is one of the key things that local people want dealt with.
Yeah, and it's an essential thing. I mean, one council spent £35,000 on 2 corgis to remember the Queen. I mean, it's great. I love the Queen, but £35,000 on 2 corgis when you've got your own network for them. But you're right. And I mean, we need to really change how things are done in this country. I'm fed up with attitude from government, and we've got the new Transport Secretary talking about repairing an extra 1 million potholes a year. Well, let's put this in context. There's an AI app called Stand the App that's free to download and use, and what people are doing, over 12,000 people have downloaded it, and based upon those figures, 12% of the network's been surveyed. If you extract it across the whole network, there's 11.5 million potholes and defects on the UK roads.
That's mad. What's the name of the app again?
Stand the App.
STAN, the app. Okay.
Yeah, you can get it on both platforms. You download it for free. You can put it in your windscreen as you're driving around. It picks up defects far better than any road inspector.
Certainly better than any council worker, that's for sure. And this is the thing, look, we'd all have seen it. In my street, we had road work. I think we're on 8 months now in our street. They're moving their way along the street, and it's absolute chaos. Road closures, but it's different every single week, and no one knows what the hell they're doing. One-way street, it's not a one-way this week. It is this week. It's madness. But you see the work. You think these guys seem to be doing a pretty good job, and I'm waiting. Like, we'll see where the potholes come. But when you get, the water company comes one week, and then the electricity company comes the other week, and then the gas company, and then someone else does some work for some, I don't know, the internet or something, broadband, and then everyone's digging up, and then everyone just puts a bit of tarmac down. The reality is our roads are constantly being dug up. So I don't understand why they can't do these. Have a little bit more talking to each other. So they're dug up less times, but also while they're doing that, why not do all the potholes at the same time?
Exactly. I mean, coordination is part of what they call the NJUG, which is National Joint Utilities Groups. They're supposed to coordinate local authorities, but I think it's become more like the Wild West than actually coordinating things. As for potholes, I'll give you an example. National highways, we had 58 cars damaged last week on a pothole on the M25. Now, Stan, the app had actually picked that up some months beforehand.
The M25?
On the M25. And then we've got National Highways spokesman talking about dual carriageways in the M25. Well, it's not a dual carriageway, but when they shut roads for work, an example near me on the A43, to carry out works, they shut the road so overnight, but they don't go in and do the minor potholes. They don't clear these road signs, cut the vegetation. They don't clean the drains.
Yeah.
Well, if you're an efficient organisation, if you're going to shut a section...
do all in one go.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is terrifying. It'd be, it's not off my budget, mate. It's off someone else's budget. Also, we always see, don't we, in the 3 months before April 6th, how everything gets done. And some of that may be because it's preparing stuff from winter and you can't do it. But let's face it, I think it's like half the budget is spent in those few months. It's almost like they're not on our side sometimes, isn't it? Mark Morrell, really appreciate you joining us. He's also known as Mr. Pothole, a pothole campaigner. That app, by the way, called Stan, S-T-A-N, I believe you said, Stan. The app. Claire Pearsall, look, you worked in government. Well, why does this go so wrong?
Because
we're a first world country.
I know, and because government's involved. But you would have thought that local authorities should be able to deal with this. They look after the highways.
They don't have the money
within a county. Yeah, absolutely. They need to be lobbying the government. But what they do have control over is who is digging up, what temporary traffic lights are being put there. Yeah. So why don't they organise that better? Because you're right, it's the gas, it's the electric,
while you're doing
it's the water.
Can you,
yeah,
why not? They were supposed to do that. It just never seems to ever happen.
They don't.
Oh well, I mean, welcome to Britain, 2024, everybody. There we go. And eventually we just get, this whole idea that that basically we are an NHS with a country attached. We're an NHS sitting next to a potholed road with a country attached.